Hello there and welcome to this video for publisher exercise number 18. So you can see we're going to be working with the flyer that we previously made changes to. So we need to save it here though with the new name. So you need to open up that first file, publisher 18, so pub 18, and we're going to save it under the new name for us to work with. Of course, you're selecting which folder it needs to go in first before you change the name. 18 flyer underscore your initials. 18 flyer underscore your initials. So now that we've changed that, it says we need to copy the text from the gold background pull quote box. So the one that begins with sitting on the deck. So this one, I'm going to zoom it in here a little bit more for you. So this one, we need to copy that text and then delete the pull quote box. So what we're going to do is we're going to select it. We're going to actually cut it instead. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click along the outline here because we're going to get rid of this box. Now it says after we've done this, we need to create a new text box in the spot where it was and paste the text into that new text box. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click draw text box. I'm going to try to get it about where it was before. So about something like this a little bit. And then we're going to paste our text back in. So I did Control X to cut it, and I'm going to push Control V to paste. And there's our text. So we're going to click at the beginning, it says. So click at the beginning of the pasted text and press enter as many times as you need to center the text vertically within the new text box. So I'm going to push it basically 2 times for me with the size of my text box. Then it says apply a 2-point dotted dark green border to the new text box. So accent scheme color 1. So in order to do that, we are going to be working with our tools up here, except I'm going to go over to drawing tools and format, and this is where we're going to be working with the borders, and really the border for this is going to be with our shape outline. So shape outline, and it says let me read it again here, apply a 2-point dotted dark green border. So 2-point dotted dark green border. So we're going to hover over dashes, and we've got our round dot. So we're going to select round dot. Otherwise, we could click on more lines here. So let's actually do that. Click more lines. For color, it says we were supposed to use our accent 1 scheme color. So this is main, and this is accent 1. So right here, click on that. And then for our line, excuse me, I did the wrong one. We don't want this one. We want choose no fill for that one. We want the color for the line. I'm choosing the wrong one. And then you can see the width here is set to 2-point, and then we're going to be switching it instead to dots. So round dot. So you're switching color under line, not up here. Color under line. You're switching dash type over here as well. And then let's click OK, and it should apply that border. You can see it's already selected to do that. And there's our border right here. That looks pretty good. And then it says apply the same dark green accent 1 scheme color as a fill for the text box. So we are going to actually do that. So let's go and choose, we could use shape fill, that's one way to do it. We still have it selected. We click on this here, except we are going to have to change the transparency of the shape fill. So I have a few ways I can access this. I'm going to click on the dialog box launcher up here to bring it back up. And you can see here with fill, we need to change the transparency here to 85%. So that way our dotted line still shows up. So for fill, transparency you're changing to 85%. I click OK. And now you can see how these two work together. Now it says select the pale gold background pull quote box. So I'm going to go and click on it here. I'll click along the outside edge of it so that way my insertion point isn't there. It says we need to select it so you can see the size handles appear around its outer border that are gray circles with X's in the center. So now to do this, we have to kind of click on this one here. So you notice there's the outer edge, and then there's the edge of like the text box that's in the shape. So when I click along here, and I'll show it one more time. So I have this one, I click on once, and then when I look at this again, if I click here along this edge, it brings up those dots. So this is something a little new compared to what you've been doing. Then, now that I've done that, it says choose fill effects for its fill. So I'm going to go up here, shape fill. I'm going to go to fill effects. Let me see here. It's a little different than what it used to be. So shape fill, oh, tints is what we're doing. So you click on shape fill, and then you go down here to tints. And it says we need to choose a 70% tint. So 70% tint. Now for 70%, it's going to be, this is 40%. You can see 30, 20. So if you click on it, it'll show you. So right here, this is where my 70% tint or shade is. So you just kind of have to look and see and click on it. And we also need to choose, it looks like, I think we should be okay with that. Yes. Just, you don't have to worry about changing the base color. We just choose that. You'll notice we have now that gray box that appears. And it's just dealing with the stuff inside there because of how we selected it. And then it says select the coupon box. So we have the same gray circle handle. So that means we got to click on it, except we got to move it to the inside edge again. And we click on it so it has those X's over the circles. So you can see it's kind of changing the inside effect, not the whole thing. And then change its dash style to 3-point square dot. So we're dealing again with the border. So shape outline. I'm going to just go and do the dialog box launcher. It's kind of the easiest way to look at it all. So for our color here, it says, well, it doesn't really say anything about a color with it, but let's change it here to black for the sake of the border here. And then and we're going to change it to a dash type, so dash style. So here we go. Right here, this is the dash right here. So the 5 lines. We change it to that, and we're going to change it to 3-point width. So 3-point. So it's going to look like this here when we do it. And then let's click OK to apply it. And you can see it's changed our dashes here. And then let's go ahead and I'm going to save it here first, but we do need to print it. So Microsoft Print to PDF. We're going to select print. It's going to end up saving it there for us. Underscore your initials. Same name, so 18 flyer underscore your initials. And then of course you might have to save this again and exit out, and that's the first part of 18. So let's finish it up here. We've got one more file to work with. So we need to open up OPUB 18. So open, browse, and we're looking for that in our downloads folder. At least that's where I am. OPUB 18. And you can see we got a lot of different things thrown up here on our piece of paper. Not actually thrown up, but you know what I mean. And let's save it with a new name. So file, save as, browse. We're gonna, or choose the folder if it's there, your flash drive. And we're going to change it to 18 board underscore your initials. So 18 board underscore your initials. And then we're going to apply a different border and fill style to each of the text boxes, including the following. So at least one dashed border, at least one border with a width of more than 6 points, a different color for each border, a different color for each fill, and at least one fill that uses a tint, and at least one fill set to more than 0 transparency. So you just saw how to do all these steps. So what I'm going to end up doing here in the video is I'm just going to put up the requirements, and you're going to do this on your own, because this is going to be a good way to check and see, are you remembering what you need to in order to be successful with this. So I'm going to make a text box. down here under this stuff, and I'm going to put in those requirements. So again, the things you got to put in down here is at least one dashed border, at least one border with a width of more than 6 points, a different color for each border, a different color for each fill, at least one fill that uses a tint, at least one fill set to more than 0% transparency. So these are the different steps here. So kind of go through, check off the list if you need to. I'm going to zoom in on this here for the final part. So if you want to pause it here so you can see that list and then apply it, do that. But you should be able to do all these steps because you just did them here in the video, and of course we worked with them in the other video as well. So get this one done. Once you finish doing that, you're going to have a few files to submit, so let me bring that up here for you to see. The files you need to submit for this exercise are, you have 18 flyer, so publisher and PDF file, and then you have 18 board, just the publisher file, so you aren't going to be printing this to Microsoft Print to PDF. And that is how you complete publisher exercise number 18.